Of our discussion in this video will be the anastomosis present around the femur. But before seeing the anastomosis, we should acquaint ourselves with the blood vessels present in this region. So this we can see is the abdominal aorta. Now the abdominal aorta divides into two terminal branches, the two iliac arteries. So these two are the internal iliac arteries. Now the internal iliac arteries further divide into an external iliac artery and an internal iliac artery. The internal iliac artery is inner to the external iliac artery. So this here is the external iliac artery and this is the internal iliac artery. Now the internal iliac artery further divides into two divisions. This was the internal iliac artery and it divides into two divisions. This is the anterior division and this is the posterior division. So this is the anterior division of the internal iliac artery and this here is the posterior division of the internal iliac artery. Now the internal iliac artery gives off three branches which are the cil branches. Branches are the superior gluteal branch, the iliolumbar branch and the lateral sacral branch. We can see an artery given off by the internal branch of the internal iliac artery which is crossing the upper border of the piriformis muscle. This here is the piriformis muscle and we can see an artery which is crossing the upper border of the piriformis muscle and enter the greater sciatic foramen. This here is the greater sciatic foramen. So this is the superior gluteal branch. Rotating the model, we can see that the superior gluteal artery, after being given off from the internal iliac artery, from the posterior trunk of the internal iliac artery, enters the greater sciatic foramen and comes to lie in the gluteal region above the superior border of the piriformis muscle. The other branches that can be seen are the iliolumbar branch, appropriately called because it is lying on the ilium bone and crossing lateral to the lumbar vertebrae. Now another blood vessel can also be seen which is lying lateral to the sacrum and this is the lateral sacral artery. After seeing the branches of the internal iliac artery, let's focus our attention to the branches of the anterior iliac artery. Now, we can see this branch which is passing through the obturator foramen. This foramen over here is the obturator foramen and we can see an artery coming all through the pelvis and crossing the obturator foramen. So, this artery is called obturator artery and it is one of the branches of the anterior division of the internal iliac artery. Now other branches that can be seen are this branch which is passing through and then supplying the superior border of the urinary bladder. So this artery is called superior vesical artery. Vesica refers to the urinary bladder and since it is supplying the superior surface of the urinary bladder, this is called the superior vesical artery. Now we can also see a branch passing along the lower border of the piriformis muscle. So this artery is the inferior gluteal artery. Rotating the model, we can see that the inferior gluteal artery is lying along the inferior border of the piriformis muscle. This is the inferior gluteal artery. Now we can also see an artery lying lateral to the inferior gluteal artery. This artery is crossing through the greater sciatic foramen. Now let's trace the path of this artery. Its crossing the greater sciatic foramen, and then it is entering the lesser sciatic foramen. This structure over here is the lesser sciatic foramen. So this artery first crossing the greater sciatic foramen and then the lesser sciatic foramen is known as the internal pudendal artery. And on our video on the istioanal fossa, I said that the obturator foramen is covered internally by the obturator muscle, which is covered by the obturator fascia, and there is a fascial canal in the obturator fascia for this internal pudendal artery, and this fascial canal is known as the alcox or the pudendal canal. So after crossing the greater and lesser sciatic foramen, the internal pudendal artery comes to lie in the alcox or the pudendal canal. Let's talk about the branch of anterior division of internal iliac artery which we are left with. So this structure over here is the rectum. Rotating the model, we can see a branch coming out from the anterior division of the internal iliac artery and going towards the rectum and supplying the rectum. So this is the superior rectal artery, and with this branch we are finished with the branches of the anterior and posterior divisions of the internal iliac artery. Now the external iliac artery over here, when it crosses the inguinal ligament extends from anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. So after the external iliac artery has crossed the inguinal ligament, it comes to be known as femoral artery. So this is the femoral artery. The femoral artery gives a branch which lies deep in the femoral region. So the term we use for deep is profunda, and since it lies in the femoral region, this artery coming out from the femoral artery is known as the profunda femoris artery. So this artery is the profunda femoris artery. Now we can see a branch given off by profunda femoris artery which is encircling the femur. So encircling the femur, encircling can also be termed as circumflexing, and it is lying laterally compared to other artery which is also encircling the femur or circumflexing the femur but lying medially as compared to this artery. So this artery over here is known as the lateral circumflex femoral artery. Rotating the model, we can see the other artery which was coming off from the profunda femoris medial to the lateral circumflex femoral artery. This is the medial circumflex femoral artery. Now all these arteries, the superior gluteal artery, the inferior gluteal artery, the medial circumflex femoral artery and the lateral circumflex femoral artery form anastomosis around femur at two locations. First is around the trochanteric fossa. This structure is the trochanteric fossa, and the anastomosis formed by these arteries in the trochanteric fossa is known as trochanteric anastomosis. Rotating the model, we can see the lesser tubercle of the femur. This was the greater tubercle of the femur lying adjacent to the trochanteric fossa, and this is the lesser trochanter of the femur. So the anastomosis which is formed around the lesser trochanter of the femur is known as cruciate anastomosis. Cruciate means crossed, and it is called so because the arteries give as if they are crossing and so giving a cross-like appearance. So let's discuss the arteries which form the trochanteric anastomosis. So the trochanteric anastomosis is formed by ascending branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery. This here is the lateral circumflex femoral artery, and this is the ascending branch. So it is formed by ascending branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery. It is also formed by a branch given off by medial circumflex femoral artery. So the medial circumflex femoral artery also gives off an ascending branch which goes to the trochanteric fossa. along with the ascending branch of the lateral circumflex femoral artery and the medial circumflex femoral artery. The anastomosis is also formed by the descending branch of the superior gluteal artery. Remember the superior gluteal artery which was crossing along the upper border of the piriformis? So the descending branch of the superior gluteal artery and the descending branch of the inferior gluteal artery also contributes to the trochanteric anastomosis present in the trochanteric fossa. Now let's discuss about the cruciate anastomosis, which is formed over the lesser trochanter of the femur. So the cruciate anastomosis is formed by the transverse branch of the lateral circumflex femoral artery, the transverse branch of the medial circumflex femoral artery, and the ascending branch of the first perforating artery. This was the profunda femoris artery given off by the femoral artery. It gave the lateral circumflex and the medial circumflex branches. It also gives the perforating branches. This is the first perforating branch. So the ascending branch from the first perforating artery also contributes to the cruciate anastomosis. Now the last artery which contributes to the cruciate anastomosis is the inferior gluteal artery lying over here. This is the inferior gluteal artery lying along the inferior border of the piriformis. So this completes our discussion on the arteries of the pelvic and the lower limb region and the anastomosis associated with the femur.